How did Trump's presidency impact your life so far? I am on Reddit like way too much. I have cancer and I work in research. I have to deal with the triple threat that cancer research is being cut, that I definitely die if I lose my job and insurance with my own area being potentially cut, and that I may die anyway seeing science being crushed. It's like I not only know I could die very soon, I have to see everything I work towards and care about destroyed first. I spent most of my life working towards this, and it's heartbreaking to now know it was probably a waste. Many clients of my company do scientific research that is funded by grants. At this point, many of their applications are stalled and they don't know if they will have money to continue their work. Bad news for them and for us by extension. Lost my federal job. Lost my UN job. I am located all the way across the world and one dude's decision literally shattered my already fragile livelihood. Same. It was my first full-time position as well. I am not a federal employee, but the bulk of my work is with federal contractors. If they lose their contracts, I lose them as clients. It has not happened yet, but my clients are making noises like it's going to happen. This sucks. I lost my job with the National Park Service. The week before I was fired, I successfully defended my PhD. My husband and I were waiting for me to finish before trying for baby number 2. So not only did I lose my job that I loved so much, but also the security that would allow me to give my kid the brother or sister she was been begging for. I took my federal job in October and had several other offers which paid a lot more. I took the NPS job for the security. How ironic. I am a truck driver. My load count each week last year was 10 per week. I am struggling to get 7 loads now, 30% reduction in my income so far. Confidence in construction is not great in my area, which was booming. As a Canadian, our country has collectively united in a way that I have never seen before in my lifetime. Canadians are broadly boycotting US goods and canceling travel plans. I work for the federal government. I have been coerced to resign. I have spoken to dozens of traumatized probationary, less than 2 years seniority, employees who were fired even with outstanding ratings. We have hundreds of employees who are having to drive up to 2 hours each direction to go to an office, where there are no co-workers. Potentially no desk space. No logical reason to return to the office except to push them to quit. We are told that for people leaving we will be able to hire one, but likely not until calendar year 2026. This is being done with no regard to what critical work is being done to help our veterans and their caretakers. If you know a federal worker, please be assured, we are not okay. I store threatened and endangered seeds that are found nowhere else in the world. I have worked with plants that cannot survive outside of a test tube. Of course some will say this is natural selection. It is, but to me it is preservation and conservation. I am working as hard as I can every day, but I assume I won't have this job in a couple weeks. Well, my boyfriend works for the Forest Service and I am a researcher funded from the NSF, so not good. I own a roofing company and my supplier told me they are going to have to double the price of a box of nails. There is also a good chance that suppliers will bump up prices even if they don't need to, because all this gives them a perfect reason that no one will question. Right after Biden was elected, I read a quote that still sticks with me. The best thing about Joe Biden is that I don't have to think about Joe Biden. I am not going to say he was great or terrible, but I had zero worry that he was actively destroying the country. I could not read the news for a few days and not worry that his administration was doing something catastrophic. Now every day is non-stop Trump, in your face, same as it was in his first administration. My stress levels are through the roof on this alone. It's fucking terrible. I am a Finn living in Finland. Trump's domestic policies don't affect me at all, but the chaos of his international policies are weighing down on us. We have the longest European land border with Russia and a very bad history with them. Seeing Ukraine getting stabbed in the back and thinking we are next is tough. So far we have made sure to have 72 hours worth of clean water per person in our house and some food, so I guess he has cost us a little money and a lot of stress. I am losing Medicare coverage of telehealth. I am a schizophrenic without a car. Rather than independently setting and making my own appointments, now I have to burden the family and have them spend gas money and time driving me to the doctors physically. Did I mention I don't own a car? Telehealth can be done with a cheap laptop on a value internet connection. Visiting requires a car or a relative or Uber money. It makes no sense that the cheaper option will lose coverage. I work in renewables. Ship's about to sink and we are doing everything we can to stay afloat. I guess Alan does not actually care where the electricity for his cars comes from. Tesla sales are down massively worldwide and the stock has dropped like 20% since Trump became president. Musk does not give F about Tesla. He does not even show up to work. Worst CEO ever. I am due to start my PhD this fall, but people's admissions offers to PhD programs are being rescinded left and right because of the federal funding freeze. Has not happened to me yet, but it could literally be any day. The future is totally uncertain now, even though I did everything right. On top of that, my fiancé was very excited to be starting a pharmacy residency in a VA hospital this summer, but they are now on a hiring freeze due to chaos in the VA at the federal level. So basically we might both be shit out of luck career-wise. Canada needs pharmacists. Here is the link, we would love to have you. European, cancelled my US vacation this year and will spend it in France instead. One of my grants had funds rescinded. I am sure the rest are on the chopping block. Trickle-down economics seems to only work with money loss, not gain. My father is quite pleased, and is repeating catchphrases coined by Trump like a young overexcitable child, while now being actively vocal with his hatred for Jews, Ashkenazi in particular, after I explained the different groups, although he lacks the ability to pronounce it, and immigrants, non-white people. So, basically, he is now out in the open with his racism and hate and just could not be happier. Happy as a pig in shit, I would say. Absolutely no knowledge of policy. His behavior is mirrored by the majority of people I come into contact with, most notably my co-workers. It's ironic because our work is dependent on the import of aluminum and work has trickled to a near standstill. Nobody is buying as we have adjusted our already inflated prices to combat the tariffs, and all our crews have nothing to do. They have taken to leaving 2 hours earlier than usual and sending their people to my department do busy work. The office staff has become a ghost crew. It's impacted my life by making me become extremely guarded and short with my words. Any sort of rebuttal or perceived slight is met with the behavior that 2-year-olds tend to show when they are tired and need a diaper change, all while their ability to remain housed and fed has been pulled from underneath them, and they could not be happier about it. Truly dystopian. People around me suddenly became comfortable being outwardly racist and intolerant. Back in the 2018, I was a software dev at General Motors. Trump's steel tariffs led to 14,000 layoffs. I was one of them. He cost me my job. Also, discovering just how many of our fellow countrymen are catastrophically stupid has been kinda rough. My dad, a small restaurant owner and cook for his entire life, suddenly believes he knows more about my job than I do, even though to get it, I had to work through to degrees and 10 years of work experiences. He laughs at me and my career that I have dedicated to fighting the systemic injustices in the world. He supported me every step of the way, and cried at my graduation. He was so proud. I don't feel like he is the same person anymore. I have never been more embarrassed to be American as I am today, and the fact that 76 million morons are applauding this stupidity is mind-boggling. I had talked a friend of mine who is an amazing neurosurgeon into joining the army. I have been an army nurse for 21 years. She was hesitant, but I finally talked her into it for a 3-year contract. She has been a neurosurgeon for a decade, so she was coming in at a very high rank, normal for medical folks, and she was excited to take care of soldiers. The army has about a dozen neurosurgeons, as in, about 12 neurosurgeons for 500,000 people across the world. She is trans, so now, the army has one less potential neurosurgeon. Who knows how many soldiers' lives she could have made better with her skills and compassion. The federal grant money for the research into my wife's rare disease ended, so we are basically waiting for Europe or China to develop the next generation of the medicine. We are also waiting for the ASEA to get modified so I can figure out if we need to move to a pre-existing coverage state. And egg prices are up again, so is inflation. As a European, a fan of democracy, and staunch Ukraine supporter, I can hardly describe my feelings about the last 4 weeks. I knew it would be bad, but I could have never imagined that Trump would upend the post-war order, kill the transatlantic pact, and drive away America's most important allies to forge a new alliance with Putin. Dane here. I am cutting out American goods and services from my life. Netflix, YouTube, Head Premium, Google Maps, and other online services where there is a European alternative. Avoiding American products when grocery shopping when possible. Had to convince my kids that their world would not collapse if we bought a different ketchup from Heinz. Had an empty Heinz bottle and filled with a Danish alternative that had similar taste. They didn't notice, until I told them the oldest claims he did think it tastes a bit different, but he didn't mind. The upside is that I am saving a lot of money. It's made me loathe the people that raised me. The acts of treason, planes falling from the sky, dismantling our institutions, betraying all our allies, state-controlled media, etc. have really made my anxiety and depression skyrocket, kinda like the cost of groceries that also have not gone down. Thanks for watching. Share your opinion in the comments. Please support the channel by liking and subscribing. It will help a lot.